Hello everyone and welcome to our new show at WDHT TV, and we're going to be cooking at What's Cooking. I want to welcome Zee Shami of Zee the Cook, and we are in her beautiful culinary kitchen where you actually teach cooking here, right?
I do. Yes, I do. Yeah,
and you teach kids, you teach adults.
Yeah, so we teach children, we teach kids, teenagers, adults, families how to cook and how to prepare healthy meals at home. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. And with our new show, we are going to be cooking a variety of different cuisine, Italian, Mexican, but today we're doing Lebanese cuisine, and it's really called all kinds of things all over the world, but here in the heart of Dearborn and Dearborn Heights, we call it wara arish, which literally means grape leaves.
Grape leaves, yeah.
So we're going to make grape leaves today. I remember when I was a kid, my mom used to sit and roll grape leaves, and she used to have me right next to her and teach me how to do it. And so it was really a nice time with her, and I remember that. And boy, after it was done, it was really good.
Amazing.
So, what are we doing here, and what do we have to do to actually start making it? I know you prepared, but tell us what you prepared first.
So the first and most important thing is to be prepared. Is to prepare your ingredients ahead of time. You prepare your ingredients when you do the shopping. You wash your ingredients ahead of time. Everything should actually be prepped this way. It shouldn't just be this way for, a cooking show. It should be this way in your own kitchen, just so you feel comfortable that once you're ready to start, you have everything ahead, in front of you, and you're ready to go. You're ready to roll.
Wonderful. I don't know how many of us do that, but I think it's a really good idea.
It's a great idea. It really, as long as it's a cleaner feeling, it feels better, and you can go step by step. You're not running around, and you're not forgetting anything. So
great.
This is the best way to start. We're going to start with the actual mixture that's going to be going inside of our vegetarian grape leaves.
Okay.
We always start with the 3 strands of mint. So all you really need is 3 strands of the mint. And for the parsley, we're going to be adding parsley. You need 2 bunches of parsley. So this right here is 2 bunches of parsley. We'll just start by picking the mint off the stick.
Let me help.
Yep.
I don't remember this part.
Yep. There's different recipes. So with grape leaves,
I'm going to learn a new recipe today.
Definitely, yeah. So with grape leaves, this is my special recipe. Not everyone makes it the same, but this is mine, and it tends to be a huge popular one going around the whole community because everyone always emails me and tells me how amazing it is, and they thank me for it. So I think that you'll really enjoy doing it this way. So 3 strands of the mint, and then
I think mint's good in anything, though.
Oh yeah, it smells. It's fresh. It smells amazing.
Gives it that kick.
And it gives a little kick, exactly. And it also
smells nice.
It's full of vitamins for you too, so it's really good. So you would just grab the mint and just chop it right up. Maybe you can do that for me while I prepare this.
Bob, I got a knife. Okay, here we go.
And then with the parsley, you're going to grab the 3 bunches of parsley, and again, you need to take them off the sticks and put them right down, and you're also going to chop that parsley.
Now, really fine, or is this, am I doing okay here?
Fine. Really fine. So you really want to just chop it up, tiny pieces.
And we can chop them together, right?
Yes, we can, yeah.
Just get rid of that little stem here. Okay. I am chopping away here.
Yeah, well, you can mix it right in together.
Okay.
If you do grab your bunch, you can actually line it all up like this. Your
right, and then start.
And just chop from the top. You don't really want these thicker sticks, but the ones on the top are very thin, and you're welcome to chop those up again and use them with the mixture. So this
really?
So this very thick part right here, you want to get rid of that. You're not going to be using it, but you're okay to chop up the top just like this.
So it's just the thick part that you don't want, but these are okay to use?
These thin ones are perfectly fine.
Oh my goodness, I would sit there and pick those all out, so you can use those.
Yep, so you're going to want to use a chef knife to do this, or a Santuco knife. They're the best ones to use once you're ready to start chopping.
Okay.
So you just want to get in there, chop everything up. And with this right here, we're going to grab this mint. Let me get the bowl for it.
Is this it?
This is actually it right here.
Okay.
So we'll put everything in there, If you can grab that, thank you. And then we'll take this, and I'm actually going to put these knives right down here.
Perfect.
Okay. And you really want to chop these up really fine. So I'm going to give you some
Should I
Stacey
do
ham,
some?
and I'm
Okay.
going to do some right here.
Okay.
So
We're
really
chopping away here.
chop, chop, chop. Yep.
So how much does this make?
This is enough. Well, we're using 1 jar of grape leaves. 1 jar of grape leaves is, I mean, depending who loves grape leaves. If it's my husband, he'll eat the whole thing, you know. But this is pretty much generally going to feed about 8 to 10 people.
Okay. I usually have it eaten before it's taken out of the pot.
I know. Oh my gosh, it's like it's really an amazing flavor. Once it's done, once you take the first bite, you're addicted to it. You just want to keep grabbing more of the grape leaves.
Okay. There we go. We're just chopping away here.
Oh, yeah.
And so then was that all the mint that we were going to use?
Yeah,
That's it
only
for all
3
of this
strands.
parsley?
Yeah, only 3
Okay.
strands. So once we have the parsley and the mint chopped
Okay.
up really fine, we're going to also grab the green onion. The green onion, all you need is 1 bunch.
Okay.
So we have 1 bunch right here on the table, and I'm going to show you a good technique to use when you want to chop up onion.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Zee Shami.
That's okay.
Oh.
There you go.
It's okay. So you'll grab the onions. Here you go.
Okay, and then chop those up too?
Yep, and you're just gonna slice it down the middle. Cut the ends off.
Okay.
We don't need those ends. And once you...
I've done this before, but I think I'm learning the right way now.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep, take those ends off. And then again, we're gonna chop that up really fine.
There we go.
Yep.
Okay, we're doing onions here.
So now we're going to have the onions, parsley, and mint in a bowl, and we're going to soak those for 10 minutes. All right, so now we have this nice, delicious green flavor in here. So the finer you chop everything, the better. Just easier for you to eventually roll that grape leaf.
Okay.
And right here, it's perfect, just like this. And then we're gonna put this in some cold water and let it soak for 10 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Yep. So yep, you just put all that cold running water through, and then you just let it sit right in that bowl and let it soak in there.
Okay. Is that enough?
Perfect, yep.
Okay.
And the next step is we need to now soak 2 cups of short grain rice.
Okay.
So you would just put that in a bowl.
Okay.
That's 2 cups for us right there. And we're gonna soak this in hot water for 10 minutes as well.
All right, so we're gonna go back and soak this in hot water.
All right, so next is the tomatoes. We're going to need 2 to 3 medium-sized tomatoes. Because these are a little bit on the smaller end, it's okay. Like this is a medium one. We have 2 small ones right here. I think I'm gonna add another little tiny one right over here. And we are going to just slice and chop these up.
I need my knife back.
How about you take the chef knife this time? That's my favorite knife. So we're just going to
Okay.
go ahead and slice and dice.
That's a big knife. Okay.
By the time we're done slicing these tomatoes, chopping these tomatoes, the parsley mixture will be ready to be drained. And what we're going to do is actually add the parsley mixture with the tomatoes in this bowl. And really tiny. You really want them to be very small, not too chunky, just so they're blended in really well.
Okay, there's a method to your madness, but this is my little tomatoes aren't as neatly chopped as yours,
Oh,
but
that's
we're
okay.
working on it here.
You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that good, or do they need
That's
to be a little
perfect.
bit?
I was a tiny bit smaller.
Smaller?
Maybe. Sorry.
Okay. It's making me work. Okay, here we go.
And you know, really, grape leaves is a lot of fun to make. I mean, like I said, once you're prepared and you have all the ingredients in front of you, it's a lot of fun to even get your family involved, to have the kids sit around the table, and actually teach them how to roll the grape leaves once the mixture is all made, you know? Because like you said, you have memories of your mom doing it. It's really nice memory to have growing up. So for the kids, it's always nice to get them involved in the kitchen too.
Right, and then they learn how to make something.
Yeah, it's those little steps go a long way.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's a family kind of thing.
For sure.
I know I have a few friends, and they're all sisters, 5 sisters.
Wow.
And every 2 weeks, they get together in one of their homes and they just roll grape leaves.
Wow.
And you can freeze these too.
Yeah,
they actually freeze them.
Yeah.
So they have them when they want them and just take them out and put them on the stove and they're ready to go.
Yeah.
And it's really healthy. Look at the ingredients in this. I mean, it's
healthy.
just really healthy stuff.
Yeah.
So
all the green onions, the parsley, the mint, the tomatoes, all very healthy for you, very light as well.
Absolutely.
So I was saying, like, once you take that first grape leaf, you're just addicted. It's a good addiction to have because it's healthy and it's very light on your tummy. It's not sitting heavily, you know. So now that we have our tomatoes, before we add the green, after we drain this, we're going to be adding it to the tomatoes with the rice that we actually just drained. But before we do, we're actually going to add our seasoning directly to this tomato. I feel like when you add the seasoning to the tomato, it sucks in that flavor with the juice a lot better than doing it over the greens. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. The recipe calls for some salt and pepper. So we're gonna put 3 tablespoons of salt. So I have that salt right over here, and I'm going to...
I'll hold it.
Yep, thank you. I'm going to get those right in. So you really just want to give it a little shower of salt. And this is, again, for the whole, this is 3 tablespoons, by the way. So when you measure at home, you will have your measuring spoon. 3 tablespoons of salt and 1 tablespoon of black pepper. So I'm going to...
sneezing any minute.
Just like that. Sprinkle it right in, let it soak in. That's perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
And we're gonna do and I can't forget the lemon juice. So you're gonna wanna squeeze some fresh lemons. Some people use lemon juice from a bottle, but I really prefer that you use the fresh just because everything on these ingredients is so fresh and so organic. And again, it's better than having that preserved, you know, lemon juice. You really just wanna use the fresh lemons. And as you can tell, it gets kind of messy around here, but it's okay. That's part of the fun of making it, and that's what makes it, you know, cooking from the heart and making sure you're doing everything very naturally, you know, in the old school way. So.
You know what, I think the focus is really on healthy cooking these days, especially with all the preservatives that are added in our food, and you know, we just don't know what we're eating anymore. So, you know, looking at these fresh ingredients and knowing that the end product,
you know, step by step what you're getting into,
right, absolutely,
what you're feeding your body.
And that's important.
We're about done.
And anything that's dark green is the best thing. It's an antioxidant, and it sort of flushes your system and clears your system out too. So everything about this is very healthy and very right to do for you and your family. Yeah. What are we doing with the potatoes?
So the potatoes,
I'm skipping ahead, but I'm really curious.
We're actually going to be lining the bottom of the pan with potatoes.
Okay.
What the potatoes does is, just in case you accidentally put too much rice in your mixture, it's going to absorb that salt, and it's going to just allow everything to cook very, very well and very nicely together.
And it's not at the bottom of the pot either, so you have that little protection?
Exactly. There's a protection at the bottom. It's also very nice for garnishing. So at the end, once you're garnishing, you're creating your display. You can grab some of those potatoes and put them in, which we'll show you once this meal is over, you know.
Now I know a lot of people put like meat underneath, like, you know, rib meat or anything or something like that. So usually that's if you make it with the meat and rice.
Yeah,
but we're doing it.
Yeah, so with grape leaves, you can definitely make, like today we're making vegetarian grape leaves for the, you know, those who are more on the vegetarian end, but everyone enjoys these, even the meat eaters. But with the roast or the beef, yeah, you'll line it up, instead of lining it up with potatoes, you would line it up with the meat. Yeah, so, and that's always really delicious too.
So do you use the vegetables with the meat mixture too? Because I know it's the meat and the rice, and that's what you stuff the grape leaves with. But
no.
Okay.
Maybe just a little bit of tomatoes. Yeah,
okay.
Tomatoes, but not the parsley or the mint. No.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So now what do you do with the lemon juice?
So once you're all done, you get your 1 1/4 cup of lemon juice. You can use your measuring cup. So we are just going to pour. So, all right. You pour it right on top of the tomatoes and the seasoning. Once you pour the lemon juice, you're going to need to get your olive oil and vegetable oil. So we're basically creating that delicious juice that the actual grape leaves are going to be bubbling in the pot.
So you don't have to just add regular water.
Yeah, no, not barely any water, to be honest. So here we go. We have 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. Just pour that right over. And we have 3/4 cup of olive oil, and this is extra virgin olive oil, okay? A great quality is the best way to go. So if you can find, you know, my parents, they get it shipped from their homeland of Lebanon, and you know, we're lucky and blessed enough to get that great, delicious extra virgin olive oil. If you don't have access to that, you know, authentic extra virgin olive oil, you're welcome to just purchase a really great brand. I would really recommend Bertolli. It's a really good one. You can find it at most grocery stores.
So you have 2 different olive oils.
2 different oils, yep. You have the vegetable oil and you have the olive oil.
So the vegetable oil is like a mazola or something like that?
Yeah, a mazola oil, that's ideal, yeah. So I usually use the mazola oil, and so that was just 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, 3/4 cup of olive oil. And now we have our salt in here, our pepper, our lemon juice. So we
It just looks like a really good salad that you want to go into.
Yeah, it smells amazing. It really smells so good. So now we have this delicious mixture right here. Everything's kind of soaking in with those tomatoes, and we're about to go ahead and add the rice and the parsley. So this is our filling now. Now we're ready to go ahead. We're creating our filling. So we put those right on top of the tomatoes. And I believe I'm going to need a bigger pot before I add this rice. So I'm gonna grab that really quick.
Okay.
Yep. So once we have our mixture, we're putting in the greens with the tomatoes, the lemon juice, and all the oils. We will go ahead and add that rice that we had went ahead and soaked for 10 minutes. You allow it to strain it. You strain it a few times until it becomes a nice, you know, soft, a little bit softer than before. So you're gonna go ahead and add the rice to the full mixture. So now, here we go.
We just mix it?
Yep, here we go. Now we have this, and we just grab 2 spoons. Here you go, Siha.
Oh,
you can do me the honors.
Yes. I would love to.
Thank you.
Ooh, this is the best part. Look at that.
It's so delicious.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, again, it smells amazing. I wish you can all smell it, but again, when you make it, the whole house will smell very beautiful.
Trust me, it smells amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I have to be honest with you, this is the first time that I've ever seen it made this way.
Oh,
so
yeah?
I am learning here.
Great.
I love this.
Great. I'm excited.
So that recipe is going to be on our screen too, for everyone to be able to make and see. Okay, is that good?
It's perfect.
All right.
All right. So once you have all your mixture over here with the juice and you're allowing it to soak, right before you're ready to start stuffing your grape leaves, you need to go ahead and strain this. But you have to definitely preserve those juices. Those juices is everything. I mean, that's the magic right there. You don't want to get rid of it. You have to be very careful to save it. So you just go ahead, give it a nice mix one more time, and then you go ahead and strain it.
So that's 2 bowls, the strainer and then the bowl to catch the juice.
Correct. So now we have the strainer right here. The juice is all in here, delicious juice. We're gonna save it right in there, and that's fine. Once you take your grape leaves out of the jar, we had talked about, you know, that 1 jar. You're gonna go ahead and soak these a few times. You're going to drain them, and then you're gonna allow them to actually soak for 10 minutes. After they soak for 10 minutes, you'll take it out one by one. You have to be very careful so they don't rip, because they do tend to rip pretty easily. And then you're going to go ahead
Get rid of that little stem there.
Yeah. So you do have to get rid of the water in the jar, just so you know. You do have to get rid of that water, okay? And then rinse it multiple times. Once they're ready, you're gonna cut off the stems for each one. So there's a little stem at the bottom. We're gonna go ahead and cut off the stems for each one. And now we're gonna get ready to roll. Okay.
We're getting ready to roll.
Ready to roll. Okay. So you're gonna lay it down with the rough side facing up. So it's nice and flat. Just grab a little bit at a time. You don't want to overpack it, just because you don't, I'm sure you've seen them at the stores. They're very, very big. The smaller they are, the better, and the more flavor they actually grasp. So if you really want to taste the best grape leaves, you're probably going to want to make them yourself.
Right. Plus the rice will get bigger too, so
exactly.
you don't
want to overstuff it. Correct. I would say that looks pretty good. Pretty good right there.
Yep.
So the first step to rolling the grape leaves, you're going to go ahead and from the right side fold over, and then from the bottom you'll fold up. Left side fold over. So right side over, bottom up, left side over, and you're going to use the tips of your fingers to just keep a very tight hold on there, okay? So you're going to press down and neatly roll it down. So once it's nice and rolled, yeah, perfect. Good job, Siham. All right,
Thank you.
So then you have it, you just set it aside and you'll go to the next one. So once you grab your next leaf, again, you're gonna wanna take that stem off that we had mentioned.
Yeah, and sometimes you can just sort of take it with your finger too.
Oh yeah, or with your finger, exactly. And lay it down.
Okay.
And here's a little bit for you.
Okay, let's see if I remember
a little bit for me.
the directions here. And the bigger the leaf, the more you would put in there, or?
Yeah, or you can even, like sometimes you can even cut the leaf in half and then make, because again, remember smaller is better. So if they weigh too big, like these maybe are a little too big, but it's okay, we can go with it. Fold over, up, over, and roll. And then if the leaf is too wide up on the top, just
cut it off? Or?
Yeah, you can cut it off, or you can keep folding in.
Right, okay.
As you roll up. So right here we go.
Those edges sticking out?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
And when you place it down while it's waiting, as you'll notice there's a lot of moisture. This will help seal the bottom, and you always want to put it downwards so that it doesn't flap open.
So practice makes perfect.
Oh yeah.
So this one's a little bit more rounded. My first one, not so much. Yeah. Okay.
So right here, for example, this was a very large leaf. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it a little bit off from the bottom. And now when I fold over, I'm not left with such a large leaf.
Okay, over and in, and then just keep folding in so it doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't have those little curlicues.
If your leaf does rip for any reason, I would say go ahead and save it on the side. Set it aside until the very end. In case if you have extra, then you can actually connect two of the smaller leaves together to seal that rip. You don't want any of them to be ripped, because once they're in the pot, they need to be very tightly grasped together. All right, so the next step, once all your grape leaves are nicely rolled and ready, you're gonna go ahead and grab your potatoes.
So you don't have to cook the potatoes first? You
don't have to cook the potatoes, no, you just gotta take off the peel. Okay. Once you take off the peel, you're gonna wanna go ahead and slice them like this.
So you slice them in the long way?
Into rounds, yep. So just like this.
Okay.
Okay. And then so basically they'll look like this. Okay. And then you will line it up. Yeah.
There we go.
We can set this right here. So here's the bottom of the pot. Okay. You're going to go ahead and just flap way down.
Until the whole bottom pot is covered?
Until the whole bottom is nice and covered. Yep. and you would just keep going. Again, fresh ingredients, you know, these are Idaho potatoes. Those are the ideal ones to use, is Idaho potatoes.
Could you use sweet potatoes in here?
I'm sure you could, yeah. Let me know how it tastes. Contact me. I'm curious. But yeah, you could definitely, I think, do that. It will give a different flavor, I would say, because it's a strong flavor. Sweet potatoes has such a strong flavor and scent to it.
So probably stick with the Idaho.
Stick with the Idaho. Keep the sweet potatoes for the sweeter meals.
Unless you're really feeling adventurous that day.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So you would just, you know, keep lining that up in the bowl down here. And we'll probably need about 2 more to really fill that in. And once you do fill it out on the very, very bottom, you'll go ahead and line your grape leaves in a circular motion. In the center, you're gonna end up with a little bit of space. That's where your carrots would go.
I was wondering what those carrots were for.
So these carrots are actually gonna give off a delicious flavor, and they're also very beautiful when you're ready to garnish, and they taste amazing. So when you get your grape leaf, like usually it'll be on the plate, your grape leaves, a little bit of carrots, a little bit of potato. You eat it together, it's very delicious. So it really accents the food very nicely. Once your grape leaves are all the way to the top, and you're all done using your mixture, that's when you go ahead, set this bowl aside, you grab that magic juice I told you about.
Already.
Yep. And you pour that in all the way, in there. And if you needed to add more water, yeah, you would add a little bit of water just to cover the top, about 2 inches above your grape leaves. So whatever this does, plus the cold water, 2 inches above, and you're good to go. You can even taste test it, the juice. Just grab a spoon, give it a little taste, see if you need a little bit more salt, maybe a little bit more pepper. There is a very important ingredient I like to use in my grape leaves at the end before I start boiling it. It's citric acid powder. So if you can get a little bit of citric acid powder, it complements the lemon juice very nicely. You would just add a little bit of that in the pot. And also it's great to make ahead of time, so you don't have to worry about this being something you have to make the same day. You make it the day before, and you know, as the recipe will explain to you, you're going to have it on low heat for 4 hours. That's what's really gonna make this secret recipe so amazing, you know, is that slow simmer, takes its time, and once those 4 hours are over, you're just gonna go in for a taste and you're gonna love it. You're not rushing it, you're giving it its time to cook. And once it when it starts to boil, after it starts to boil is when you're gonna put it on simmer and leave it there for 4 hours. So here we are with the finishing product. It's very delicious. We have our grape leaves, as I had mentioned, our carrots complementing the delicious grape leaves. It's again very light, very delicious. What do you think, Zee Shami?
I think it looks amazing.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Dig into it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you. Zee Shami, everyone. And people can actually come and learn in person here at Zee the Cook.
Yeah, so if you'd like to join us at Zee the Cook Culinary Studio, please go on our website, zeethecook.com. You can even contact me at zee@zeethecook.com. We'd love to have you. Come learn in person. Thank you so much.
So thank you all for joining us on our new show, What's Cooking on WDHT TV, and What's Cooking in Your Fridge. Find out next time with us.